You just have to look around to see how connected everything is now.
Oh, absolutely.
And communication, well, it's everything, isn't it? Especially in really diverse places. Think about the U.S. Mexico border,
Right.
like El Paso and Ciudad Juarez. I mean, that whole area is basically one big community across two countries.
Yeah, truly binational. And being bilingual there isn't just like a nice skill to have.
No, it's often just necessary
Mhm.
for everyday stuff.
Exactly. And that's really where translation and interpreting become so incredibly important.
Uh-huh.
They're the skills that, bridge those cultural gaps. They open doors. Think about healthcare or legal help.
Education, too, I bet.
Definitely education. Language just shouldn't be a wall blocking access to things like that.
Totally agree. So, for this deep dive, we thought we'd look at how one university, UTEP, that's the University of Texas at El Paso, is really tackling this.
Right on the border.
Exactly. We're digging into their translation and interpreting programs. So, think of this as like a quick look into how they're meeting this really critical need.
And it's interesting stuff, whether you're just curious about how bilingualism actually works day to day or why language access is such a big deal.
Or even if you're thinking about careers, maybe, in this globalized world.
For sure. And what's really striking about UTEP is their very specific focus. It's Spanish English.
Well, that makes sense given where they are.
Precisely. Their programs are really built to train students for the actual demand for skilled bilingual pros right there in that region.
Okay, so what are they actually offering? What do the programs look like?
Well, they've got a couple of main pathways. First, there's a minor in translation and interpreting Spanish English, of course.
Okay.
And the cool thing is you can add this minor to pretty much any major.
Yeah.
So you could be studying business or health sciences, whatever.
And still pick up these really valuable language skills.
Exactly. Get those essential skills plus some hands-on practice.
Nice. Is there a more dedicated track too?
Yes, they've also revamped their main Spanish BA degree. Now it has a specific concentration in translation and interpreting.
Ah, okay. So more in depth.
Right. And this is where it gets really practical. Part of this concentration is a course specifically on judiciary translation and interpreting.
Ooh, legal settings. That sounds intense.
It is. And very important. Plus, and this is a big, plus they offer a New Mexico court interpreting micro-credential.
A micro-credential, what does that mean exactly? Like a specific certificate?
Yes, sort of. It's a focused qualification that really drills down on what's needed to interpret accurately and ethically in, like, courtrooms and legal depositions.
Wow. So that must really help with getting jobs after graduation.
Oh, absolutely. It gives them a serious leg up, makes them much more attractive candidates for court interpreter roles right away. It's a definite career booster.
So it's clear they're not just stuck in textbooks. What kind of actual, marketable skills are students walking away with?
A whole range, really. They get a solid grounding in the theory, like why translation works the way it does, but also a lot of practice.
Practice
like analyzing text really closely, learning how to use resources effectively, things like parallel texts, comparing existing translations.
Right. Okay.
And even teamwork, which is interesting because a lot of big translation projects are collaborative.
I hadn't really thought about teamwork in translation. How does that work in class?
Well, they might work together on larger texts, maybe divide up sections, review each other's work. It mirrors how agencies operate.
Makes sense.
And then if they take the specific interpreting courses, they get hands-on practice, both consecutive.
That's where you wait for the speaker to finish, then interpret.
Yep. And also simultaneous interpreting, the kind you see with headphones, interpreting in real time.
That sounds challenging.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But that practice is crucial. And all this also sets them up well if they want to go on to grad school, like master's or PhD.
So it opens doors for more study, too. What else? Beyond just the language itself.
Well, combining the theory and practice gives them that competitive edge we talked about. They also really focus on developing strong bilingual writing skills.
Ah, that's useful everywhere.
Totally. Super valuable in tons of jobs, not just pure translation. And one more practical thing, they get trained on WordFast.
Software.
Yeah, it's a major translation tool suite used in the industry. WordFast LLC actually provides it generously, which is great. So students graduate already knowing how to use professional tech.
Okay, so they're learning the theory, the practice, the tech, hitting the ground running. How does this all fit into the bigger picture? Why does it matter so much?
Well, think about it. These skills are fundamental for things like social justice. ensuring people can understand their rights, access legal help.
Or get proper health care.
Exactly. Humanitarian efforts, too.
Yeah.
And just global business, connecting people across industries. In a place like El Paso Juarez, having trained ethical interpreters and translators is just vital for basic fairness and access.
Right.
Right.
So boiling it down, translation and interpreting are just bedrock skills in our connected world. And places like UTEP are stepping up, creating programs that give people real career-ready skills, especially for critical areas like the legal system.
Absolutely. Which kind of leads to a final thought, something for you to chew on.
Okay.
With technology, AI especially,
Yeah.
moving so fast,
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to change the human side of translation and interpreting, particularly in really sensitive areas, like courtrooms or doctors' offices, where understanding nuance is just so incredibly critical?